What's up, Juventini? Alberto here. Got all your Juve news. There is a ton to talk about, all right? Chiesa and the situation around him. What is going to happen? I'm going to share my thoughts on what I think is going to happen, and it feels very, very similar to something else Juve just recently went through, but I think we're set for a much different finish to it, all right? Allegri's future very much in question, and we are hearing all sorts of scenarios, and today we're getting the news that Giuntoli may just be kicking the tires on a change. And then Chiesa, Yildiz, and Vlahovic. Is it time to see these three together up top? We're going to take a look at that. And then Maurizio, our friend from around Turin, gives us a fantastic explanation on a situation that flew under the radar involving the Ultras and Juventus. All right, so we're going to take a look at all that right now. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the AJC. Let's rock. All right, so loan watch, Facundo Gonzalez. All right, impressing Juventus with his showings for Sampdoria in Serie B. The plan is to get him in Serie A on a loan next season. Huijsen scores his first goal in Serie A with Roma yesterday in an absolute rout over Cagliari. Things are looking good. We know the three at Frosinone have been doing fantastic. All right, Barnechea, Caio Jorge set to get an extension, it said, with Juventus, and Sule. Well, Sule could be opening up the door, and more fans are feeling like we should go his way and maybe push Federico Chiesa aside. The latest situation around Chiesa is very, very similar to that of Paulo Dybala. We may have Dybala 2.0 on our hands with Chiesa. Performances that are in question, all right? Importance to the team in question due to lack of availability all of a sudden and ongoing stoppages ever since the major injury. All right, then the whole time you've got this crazy media scrutiny and everything, and you have a contract extension discussion going on. This is very, very similar. All right, what do I think is going down? What do I think Juve's plan is? For me, I think Juve is going to work at getting an extension done for 1 year to protect value, all right? They will not finish this one the way it ended with Paulo Dybala and him walking away for nothing. Giuntoli, too good, too smart for that, all right? Maybe they don't renew him at all and they take a shot, but with the value hit and going into a final year, I think they push for a contract extension at the same wage being the minimum, all right? Maximum, essentially. And then I think they take their chance on him showing some stuff with the Azzurri in the Euros and then offload him. That's what I think is going to happen with Federico Chiesa. What do you think? Hit me up in the comments section. Now, for the time being, it is said that Chiesa, Yildiz, and Vlahovic, Max could be turning to that for the remaining games. We still have 15 games remaining, all right, and we have to get as many points as possible, all right? And with this one, I know Max took a ton of heat for not going to it against the Inter match. Well, you could probably say that was a regret, because the only reason I could say why not do it, and I did feel the same way, was that we would get carved up and lose any type of protection against Inter. The regret is that it happened anyways, so we may as well have played it out and gone for broke for that goal. But hindsight is always 2020. In the end, you got to make these calls, and I actually understood the call at the time. As far as moving forward, I definitely think it's something worth exploring and seeing. All right, so hopefully we get that tried in very soon. In terms of Max Allegri, we are getting a ton of news coming in all sorts of directions regarding his future, all right? And apparently the club does not want to go into a final season of a contract with any manager. It seems like the situation is very much going to be in Max's hands, because we are hearing there's been a full shift in terms of the view on Max behind the scenes, and he has full backing. I do expect him to get a contract extension offered up. Now, I say keep eyes on Conte. Why? I'll tell you why. Because it's been widely regarded for a long time that he is waiting for that chair to open up. If Conte accepts another position at another team, that tells me and shows me that it is true. There's been a full shift and full backing for Max Allegri moving forward, and Juve is going to offer him up an extension. There are also rumors, though, that Giunta Liamana are kicking the tires on making a potential change, and that Motta is the one that they're exploring the possibility of bringing him in. Only time will tell what happens, but I say keep eyes on Conte. All right, now, as far as the Ultras, we've got a situation that kind of flew under the radar. Our friend from around Turin, Maurizio, brings us a fantastic explanation. And I'm telling you, the next time you go to Turin, make sure you reach out to Maurizio. He will make your experience top class. All right, this is the situation. So essentially, a group of Ultras, they had lost one of their longtime members. He passed away before the game, and they brought in a banner that was not authorized. They were sought after by authorities, Digos, and the police, and fined. I don't know if any bans came from it or whatnot, but this was the situation. And I said, why did this even happen for such a harmless banner? This is the explanation. So Maurizio starts from the very beginning. You know, there's been a huge battle against the Ultras in the last few years. There are three different parties involved: the Ultras, Juventus, and the Digos, General Investigations and Special Operations Division, which is a part of the Italian police. At the beginning, Juventus and Digos were very much united against the Ultras. They did everything they could together to get the Ultras out of the stadium. This started with Agnelli after he was banned for almost a year for keeping relationship with the Ultras, and please note both parties were getting benefits of this relationship. Don't trust the story of the Ultras are the only bad guys in this whole story. He decided to totally go against the Ultras, and from here the alliance with Digos was formed. Now, and please bear with me because he sent me a long message. It's on my phone, so I'll be reading it off here. He says, the new management arrived post Agnelli. They realized a couple things. One, this exaggerated fury against the Ultras. Lots of things happened in the last year. Impossible to summarize them now, he says, but trust me, I saw many, many bad things. Was happening only in Turin, despite the very same Ultras dynamics are currently happening everywhere in Italy. Two, the Digos' key men are all from Napoli, and it's well known their hate versus Juventus and Juventus fans. At the same time, doing something against Juventus is definitely putting them under the lights, so they actually love to do it. Three, without the Ultras, the stadium became a library. This was also negatively influencing the performance of the players. We were indeed losing a lot of points at home. Now, at the beginning of this season, Juve tried to find a compromise with the Digos and give more freedom to the Ultras, and this worked quite well. However, there were conditions. No more large banners with the name of the old Ultras groups, because Digos and Juventus essentially really wants to keep the past away and give zero chances to the old groups to live a new life. Indeed, you can't see the large banners with Drughi, Viking, or NAB or others. Now we reach a point where the club would like to give more and more freedom to the fans. Hey, since the Ultras are back, Juventus didn't lose a single game at home and almost won all of them. But they are somehow prisoners of Digos who can still decide whatever they want in our own stadium. So, the last episode this last weekend, a historical Ultras called Tino died. The organized groups wanted to give him a tribute by showing a banner that said Tino per sempre, Timo forever. As you can understand, this is totally harmless. However, there is a rule that non-authorized banners cannot enter the stadium. One of the very strict rules set by the Digos. And only in Turin, they check this extremely carefully or punish eventual non-authorized banners. So once again, those guys holding the tribute banner for a dead person, they all got a €170 fine each. Digos could have simply close an eye like they do in every other stadium in Italy, but instead they wanted to punish once again the fans. And Juventus, the club, can only silently see as they don't have the power, but most importantly, the desire to defend their most loyal fans. Now, that is insane. Now, €170 doesn't sound like a lot, but Maurizio says it is considerable considering that these guys' salaries is somewhere around $1,200 to $1,500 a month. Okay? He continues. If he tried to enter the stadium, with a t-shirt with a logo of an ultras group, he would get a €170 fan. He said, imagine if I try to enter with a Canadian flag and it has not been previously authorized by Juventus, I get a fine of €170. If this happens twice, you are banned for 3 years. These are the conditions that the ultras, and in the Curva there are regular fans that are there, live by. So for Maurizio, he is one of the regular fans. He is not an ultra that would like to see the team stand up and fight and protect the ultras. It's an intense situation. I thank Maurizio again for the incredible detail and breakdown. But yeah, I mean, I would like to see Juventus fight and back them. There is no doubt that the impact is made. If the rest of the crowd acted as the ultras do when they weren't there, it wouldn't be an issue. But we know how important they are, and the atmosphere was absolutely dead. I think it's not a lot to ask and fight for your groups when they put up a banner as harmless as Tino forever. That's my thoughts. What do you think about that and all the other news you just heard? Hit me in the comments section. Don't forget to like the video and share. Till next time, as always, fino alla fine, forza Juve.